Things that seem super dangerous but are surprisingly safe. Now let's get started. Number 8. Turbulence in aircraft. Imagine being in an airplane when all of a sudden you feel as though you are riding a cloud roller coaster. On the tray table, your drink begins to dance. Everyone in your immediate vicinity is clenching their teeth. However, those frightening hiccups in the sky are only slightly more dangerous than a hiccup. Contemporary aircraft are designed to resemble tanks with wings. Without breaking, the wings can flex nearly 90 degrees. In essence, those enormous metal tubes are enormous fidget toys. The jet often barely advances 40 feet when you experience the plummet that makes your stomach turn around. It's similar to going from a diving board, but you're viewing movies while strapped into a comfortable chair. Turbulence alone has never caused a contemporary commercial airliner to crash. They're presumably talking about their lunch arrangements because the pilots up front are so unconcerned. They can see where the rough spots are because to their sophisticated weather radar, it functions similarly to a GPS for air potholes. The aircraft has been tested to withstand forces far greater than any turbulence you would ever encounter. Those wings are more resilient than a boxing gym punching bag. Just keep in mind that you're more likely to spill your drink than experience any real issues the next time you encounter rough air. In essence, your plane is asking, "Is that all you have?" to those bumps in the air. 7. Freefall Elevator. It is nearly impossible for a modern elevator to crash. Unlike in movies, they are not powered by a single cable. These elevators typically have 4 to 8 steel wires. The elevator may be supported entirely by the strength of each cable alone. Just one cable would keep you safe even if the majority were removed in some strange accident. Similar to an elevator speed cop, these elevators have a governor. The governor activates enormous brake clamps if the elevator begins to move too quickly. Like an enormous metal hand, these clamps hold onto the shaft's guiding rails. The force is so powerful that it can nearly instantly stop many tons of metal. Additionally, there is a massive spring system at the bottom, in case none of that works. It functions similarly to a huge shock absorber that might safely slow down a falling elevator. According to statistics, elevators are among the safest modes of transportation ever created. Walking downstairs has a higher risk of injury than using an elevator. Tell that small voice to calm down the next time it begins to whisper about collapsing elevators. The metal cage you're riding in is actually safer than your own restroom. 6. Face pillows that explode. Imagine driving at 200 miles per hour when all of a sudden a white pillow bursts in your face. These are concealed cushions that are airbags ready to grab your face before it collides with the steering wheel. In barely 1/20th of a second they are deployed. It would still appear blurry even if you recorded it using the slow-motion camera on your phone. In reality, the explosion isn't an explosion. It is a chemical reaction that produces nitrogen gas, which is safe. Imagine it as quickly inflating a balloon that is strong enough to catch your head in an accident. Your car is equipped with sensors that continuously check to see if you're going to have a horrible day. This face-saving cushion is activated when they sense difficulty before your brain can even perceive danger. Because modern airbags are so advanced, they can determine if you are a tall adult or a small child. In fact, depending on your size, they will change how hard they burst out. It is comparable to having a small bodyguard who is aware of how difficult it is to apprehend you. These cushions are concealed throughout the steering wheel, dashboard doors, and even the roof of modern cars. It's as though there are ninja bodyguards hidden inside your automobile, ready to leap out and defend you. 5. MRI scanners. Imagine a huge car lifting contraption in the shape of a donut. MRI machines, in contrast to X-ray machines, use radio waves and magnets, the same waves your phone uses to play kitten videos. All of the hydrogen atoms in your body momentarily align themselves like tiny soldiers due to the machine's creation of a magnetic field. After that, they are hit by radio waves, which causes them to dance before re-entering the line. They give off signals while dancing, which the system interprets as finely detailed images of your interior. If you carried one of these gadgets in your pocket, the magnets within would be so strong that they could tear a wrench through your body. Hospitals are very careful about metal things around MRIs because of this. These devices are perfectly safe for your health, even though they are powerful enough to pull a refrigerator across a room. The noise they produce is arguably the most frightening aspect of them. It sounds like you're stuck at a robot-performed dubstep concert. Instead of playing the greatest hits on the machine, hospitals provide you headphones so you can relax to your preferred music. Once you get used to the robot concert, it's actually fairly monotonous, so falling asleep during the scan is the most harmful thing that could happen. Remember that an MRI is basically a large, noisy camera that uses magnets. rather than light the next time you need one. 4. Dry bites from vipers. Consider being bitten by a viper, one of the most dreaded predators in nature. Before your eyes, your life begins to flash. This is when things get wild. In fact, you might be doing just fine. Scientists estimate that between 20 and 60% of viper bites are dry bites. This indicates that even though the snake bites you, no venom is injected. It is comparable to being stabbed with a needle that is empty. Not fatal, but frightening. In actuality, vipers don't use a lot of venom. Venom requires a lot of energy to produce. It's similar to preparing a good supper. Those ingredients shouldn't be wasted on random people. In order to save their venom for real prey, they frequently bite as a warning. They don't always have a choice. Their fang delivery system may malfunction like a malfunctioning squirt gun, or their venom glands may be depleted from a recent meal. Consider it analogous to a printer that is running low on ink. The paper has holes in it, but no ink really flows out. In India, there are even accounts of people who were bitten by pit vipers and survived just fine. This implies that you might just sustain a severe puncture wound when a viper attacks. Here's the catch though. If you are bitten, you should still be examined. So you won't be aware that it's a dry bite until it happens. It is comparable to snake roulette. You don't want to lose that game. Bungee jumping comes in third. With only a flexible cord preventing you from turning into a human pancake, you would leap hundreds of feet from a platform. There are only roughly 1 in 500,000 jumps that cause any significant issues. That is roughly equivalent to being hit by lightning while eating a sandwich. Locals would jump off wooden towers while wearing vines attached to their ankles on the little island of Vanuatu, which is where it all began. Today's bungee jumping is far more sophisticated. Every piece of equipment is examined more carefully than your bags are by airport security. There's more to the cords than just rubber bands. Like a personal calculator for your falling speed, they are specifically made to manage particular weights and heights. You're protected, even if one of the cords fails, because they employ several cords together. Your entire body, not just your ankles, is encircled by the harness. Before each jump, it is tested 3 times. A backup connection point is always available. In order to select the ideal cord jump masters weigh you exactly. They check the weather. They determine the precise height at which you will bounce. It was once done by a 96-year-old grandmother. In the meantime, a man from New Zealand performed nearly 1,000 leaps in a single day. They have never experienced any major mishaps, and that would be equivalent to jumping from a stack of 50 school buses. Walking is actually riskier than jumping because most injuries are caused by people being overly thrilled after landing and tripping over their own feet. The next time you witness someone jumping, keep in mind that they are most likely safer up there than you are below. 2. Acid peels for the face. Although applying acid to your face may seem like a bad idea, it's really safer than drinking coffee in the morning. These peels are similar to pressing a reset button on your face. Compared to most face scrubs, the acid employed is more mild and carefully regulated. It's like having a fine-tuning tool for your skin issues. They don't use the gloomy acids from chemistry class. In reality, some are manufactured from fruit and sugar cane, the same ingredients you may find in your home. Your skin temporarily turns white throughout the procedure. The acid is simply doing its work like a painter preparing a canvas, and it looks like something from a science fiction film. Professionals have complete control over the procedure. More accurate than making a cake, they measure everything down to the smallest drop. Because some of these acids are so mild, patients frequently nod off while receiving therapy, dozing off as the acid is applied to their face. The outcomes are astounding. Like a snake shedding its skin, old damaged skin peels off. The skin beneath is brand new and seems years younger. However, you must have a qualified professional complete it. No do-it-yourself experiments. Let the professionals handle the chemistry. 1. Safe food was zapped. In December, picture yourself biting into a wonderfully fresh strawberry. This is made possible using a remarkably safe technique. We refer to it as food irradiation. Consider it your food's equivalent of the airport's super-powered metal detector. A beam of energy filters out all the contaminants from the food, pests, bacteria, and other unwelcome visitors. There is absolutely no change in the food itself. It's like putting food through an invisible car wash that just removes dirt. Even though it can now remain much longer on your shelf, the strawberry is still just a strawberry. For more than 50 years, scientists have been researching this technique. It is completely safe according to the FDA and other major health organizations. Since it's one of the safest ways to keep food fresh, astronauts even consume irradiated food while in orbit. Approximately 40% of commercial spices undergo this procedure. It uses no chemicals to keep them fresh and bug-free. It's more like going through a scanner. You leave no trace after you're finished. More radiation is naturally released by a banana than by any other food that has undergone this process. That concludes today. I'll be doing more videos like this in the future. To view them, subscribe.